Chairman Rouser, Ranking Member Costa, members of the subcommittee, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today to testify representing the Agriculture and Food Policy Center at Texas A&M University. While often focusing on Title I commodities, the Farm Bill has direct impacts on the livestock industry as well. In particular, I'd mention the Livestock Indemnity Program and the Livestock Forage Disaster Program. Both have been important programs for livestock producers, providing financial assistance to producers really trying to survive unique catastrophic weather events, whether it's the record drought in the Southern Plains or Winter Storm Goliath, for instance. Crop insurance is not just a crop product. There are livestock-related products, whether it's livestock risk protection for feeder and fed cattle, hogs, and lamb. Livestock gross margin for dairy is another product that has been available also. I'd like to mention that many of these Farm Bill and other policy issues are related. Insurance products often rely on futures market prices, for instance, the LGM dairy program, LRP for cattle and hogs, yet questions about the efficacy of the futures market may have important impacts on these mainstays of the producer safety net. Price reporting and information is related as well. Interpretation and implementation of price reporting has become a critical issue in some markets. Markets and products change over time, making flexibility in this implementation an important consideration, including evaluating confidentiality rules. The operation of the live cattle and feeder cattle futures contracts has been the subject of a lot of concern across the industry. Areas of concern include volatility, the speed of transactions, the role of high-frequency trading, outright cheating, and whether or not the futures market is actually broken and no longer works as an effective price risk management tool. And I think there's a lot of areas where there's some needed research on all of those issues. Cattle prices have certainly declined from their record peak. I think it's worth remembering that markets and incentives work. Record high prices and drought recovery have provided the profit incentive to increase production of cows, calves, and beef. Increased production leads to lower prices. Certainly beef production has increased year over year. Increasing beef imports and reduced exports have had the net effect of adding about 750 million pounds to our market in 2015. And finally, large financial losses by cattle feeders forced them to finally bid lower for feeder cattle prices. The decline in cattle numbers to multi-decade lows by 2014 meant that the industry had an overcapacity problem in feeding and meat packing. As cattle numbers increase, there are more cattle chasing a smaller capacity, and that also pressures cattle prices. Trade is more important than ever to all of our livestock, poultry, and dairy sectors. These industries export anywhere from 10 to over 20% equivalent of our domestic production. Any events that reduce exports, often out of our control, leave us with lower prices. Yet imports are also important. The lamb industry is dealing with record imports of lamb from Australia and New Zealand. Opening new markets and reopening old markets are critically important to our livestock and dairy industries. Our domestic livestock sector is the main customer for most of our crops. And difficult times on the crop side due to low prices mean livestock producers are paying low prices for feed, but as meat production surges due to lower production costs, meat and livestock prices are going to decline. The Farm Bill safety net that aids crop farmers is also aiding suppliers of feed for all of our livestock, and it was not long ago that record high feed costs created huge financial losses across livestock agriculture, forcing bankruptcies and many to go out of business. So the health of crop and livestock producers are intertwined. Many livestock producers are also crop farmers, whether it's a dairy producing feed or a farmer with cows on pasture land as part of the total farm operation. Future challenges will certainly abound in the livestock industry, whether it's trade-related, animal diseases, low prices, or regulatory in nature. All of those mentioned above will be in play. Regardless of these challenges, even though some of the farm policies may differ for livestock versus crop agriculture, these programs do matter. Thank you very much.